Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, just like this. Hey, all right. So this video is gonna be about my lizard custom base I'm going to make. Not about this one. This was already done. This is the first version. I made it, but there's no video about it. Uh, but I'm gonna make a new one. Probably gonna be much more detailed and bigger. Um, make it look more like a sewer tunnel concept, I guess. And I'll be using my foam and some metal. I don't know. I'm not really sure yet. This is just the first part. And if you see my other videos, sometimes it starts like a small project and becomes a much bigger project. I already done the base for the Kraven, XM Studios Kraven, and that came out better than I thought it was gonna be. And the portrait stands for the Venom came out good too. So now I'm trying to redo this one, but actually make it a bigger base. I like this statue. I mean, it's actually one of my favorites. The lizard is very cool, but I never liked this part of the base here, this lower part. Seems like the base is not as big as it should be for this character. So I'm just gonna make something a little bit bigger so it fits my display a little bit better. And if it comes out good, um, I'll make one for the Prime 1 Venom. I really like that statue, but there's one thing I don't like about that base is the very bottom of it. There's that like shiny part, silver, whatever. I don't like it. I think it should be just the whole concept, no shiny details or whatever. So I may do that one as well. And to be honest, I always thought the base, as big as the Venom is, the base should have been a little bit wider too. So, well, let's do this one first, and we'll see how it turns out. Again, if you watch my other videos, most of the parts that I use is stuff that you can just get at Home Depot or Lowe's or even Walmart sometimes. So if I can do it, I'm pretty sure you can do it too. Okay, so this is just a quick look before the project starts. And I'm gonna start by removing it from here, from the old. So and I'm gonna skip through some basic parts that are easy to explain, but like I said, this is the first base I made. It's very basic. It looks okay, but I don't like it. So I'm gonna try to make a lot of bricks and make it like a sewer tunnel. Okay. Oh well, let's see. All right. So a little bit of a change of plans here. um, well, I looked at this base again. It actually looks pretty good. What I'm gonna do is just keep using it because I like it that it turns, and just build up on it. Make the new base using the old base, the old custom base. Save me a lot of time. And again, it's pretty cool. It already turns and everything, so it will save me a lot of work. First thing I'm gonna use is this foam. If you watch my other videos, you've seen this before. The reason I like this foam, it's pretty firm, it's very cheap, and you can just get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, and it's very easy to cut. So the first thing I have to do, I have to make the choice if I'm gonna just build the wall and then draw the stones on it, make it look like, you know, a sewer, or if I should just have each stone built, cut, and then put the whole thing together. And I think I'm gonna try to cut each stone, each piece of stone, and then glue it together. I think it will look more realistic and nicer than just drawing and carving on the stone too. We'll see. Again, it's very easy to cut, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna cut it. This is a scrap piece from my portrait stand. So just go here and just like that, cut it. One note, depending what kind of knife you use or blade is going to give you a different kind of finish. You can use this one for more of a clean cut. Since I wanted to do stones, I want to have some of the rough finish, not too rough, but a little bit of a rough finish. And I'm just gonna cut each one. I'll make them different sizes because, you know, in real life they're not really all the same size. So I'll do that part and then we'll continue. All right, so I had to decide first the scale of it. How big I want each brick to be, or each stone to be. So I came up with this size. It's about 4 inches by 2, which should give me on 1/4 scale 12 by 8. That's a reasonable size. It's not too big, not too small, and I can do a lot of detail on it. It's easy. I cut that piece in half, measure both, mark it with a marker. Now I'm gonna cut. Of course, I'm gonna have to do a lot more bricks. I mean, this whole thing in the back. So, all right. So turn some more lights on. So made a box of stones. I cut it. Well, I cut them in 2 sizes: the large stones and the smaller ones, and different depths as well. So they're not gonna all line up perfect. And this is one of the reasons why I prefer to do it like the bricks instead of just a flat panel and engraving on it. It just looks more realistic. So got a bunch of them. As I showed before, just cut them with a knife. It's pretty easy. Now I have to start engineering this and see how I'm gonna line that up. So we'll see. All right. So before we continue, I just want to take since I'm gonna reuse this base, I'm gonna show you a little bit about it, since I never made a video how I made this. So I used the foam, and as you can see, I just cut it around to feed this round piece of wood, and after this to turn. and I put a stand, just 2x4 piece of wood and a mesh. Then I put this down. And that's the base. That's the stones I removed because I don't need them anymore. So I'm gonna install the bricks. So okay, so now you see what the base looks like, and that's gonna be the foundation for the sewer tunnel. All right, okay. So I'm just positioning the stones around it to see how it would look. At first I was gonna do like a more square in, but since the base is round, might as well just go with it. I mean, actually it looks pretty good. Maybe on the back, I'll do a flat tunnel, I guess wall, or maybe curving back on him a little bit to give it like more menacing look to the whole thing. But I'll see, one step at a time. I just want to see how the stones size and how they fit in there before I continue. Sometimes, you know, if you make a mistake now, it's easier to fix it than to, once you're all done, try to fix something. So I like the height. That's one of the issues I had with the statue. It's an awesome statue, but it looked like so short. Let me see. It's about, I don't know, 18, 19 inches. I think it should be a little bit taller, especially when you put it like next to like a Prime 1 Venom. I mean, it looks wide enough. It just needed to be a little bit taller. So we'll see. It's looking okay. It's gonna take me some time to cut each stone because I have to angle a little bit now since I'm gonna make it round. But I don't want to skip any steps. Do a quick turn. I may do a little bit of the wall going up here and then a big wall on the back. And the big wall, I have to come for the tail. All right, okay. So I cut all the pieces that I needed, and once you cut it, it's gonna be like this, and you have to do the texture. It's pretty easy. I'll do it this time so you can see on one, and then I'll show you the other ones. It gets messy. Just scrape it a little bit, and then what you do, just do like random cuts. That's enough. Then once you do the cut, you just start breaking the pieces. I need to look more like a piece of rock. You can get a sandpaper or something to just do any sharp edges. just lightly. And because you don't want the pieces to fall off, so you do as many sides here as you can. Break up the loose pieces, and that's what you have. Done with dozens, so one is going to be different than the other, but once you put it together, will give you a nice look. Show you here. Get a bucket full of them. And it gets really messy, so I do it like on a place like this. And that's it. If you're not too happy the way it looks, you can just do a little bit more. Again, there's no, I guess, talent required here. And that's about it. So, oh, forgot to show you this. This is what I used. It's rated for 400 pounds. Pretty sure you don't have a statue that's going to be 400 pounds, but it's pretty nice and stable. That's the reason I got the bigger size. Not so much about the weight, but the size. I want it to be stable. The smaller one is a little bit wobbly. I think I got it at Lowe's or Home Depot. You can find it on Amazon as well. So, okay, time for another break, and I'm gonna continue putting this together. All right, so I start putting some of the stones around just to see how it looks. Yeah, it looks okay. I'll do a close-up so you can see it. Again, it's not installed yet, and it's not all together, but I like to test fit things first. Yeah, well, I have a lot more pieces down there. Putting 2 different buckets. The thicker ones on the right, the not so thick ones are on the left. I think it's gonna come out okay. Again, it's the first time I'm doing this. If you see my other projects, you never know. I was very happy with the Kraven base. That turns out better than I thought it was gonna be. Same thing with the statue portraits. So I'm hoping this one turn out okay. This is actually my biggest project as far as doing a custom base. So I'm hoping, I'm thinking about having the wall higher here and then maybe some on the back. So I'll see. And as far as the stones, I showed you how to do it. And again, the more you do it, the more you're gonna get the practice. They don't need to be perfect or every single one of them like the same size or same design. Actually, you don't want that. You want each one to be a little bit different. They don't want all of them to be perfect. And if there's something I can do, is not do things perfect. So it turned out okay. So, okay, we'll see. Okay, so another update. I got a piece of aluminum and a bent around it, and that'll be my guide, and it'll help me glue the foam and build the wall. Gives us a little bit more stability and also a guide. I marked it every 5 inches there, so I can have a guide. Another thing I did, I built up the base on the back because if I'm gonna build like the wall higher, I need like a pretty stable piece. And what I did, put a metal plate there, and I screw it to the wood, so it's pretty firm there. And this, I glue some magnets, as you can see on the back, and stays there firm. So when I build the wall, I can detach this part separate from the front, so I can disassemble it easily. And I put the tail back because I need to know, as far as like space, how much I can go. Even though the base, the statue is not that high, it's pretty wide. And I want to keep it, another look from the side, I want to keep it less than 24 inches deep as well, so it fits on my display cabinet. Okay, starting to take shape. Okay, ready for the next step. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna show you how I've been cutting the angle pieces. Because they have to be all the same angle or pretty close to it, I'm just using this handsaw, put the angle that I need, a mark here, how far from the edge I need it to be so they're the same width, and just cut them. I'll do one here so you can see it. It's a little bit messy, but I use the shop vac to clean it up in a couple of seconds. Once I cut it, I'll just go kind of deep enough that I can just come back and put them out. And I got another angle piece. Of course, I need to make it look like a stone, cut it later, but I just need to get the angle right first. And the reason I have to do that is I'm going to show you right now. Okay, if you look this way, you see, well, I have to cut the pieces kind of in an angle so I can make the angle for the tunnel. I know in the beginning of the video I said I was gonna make the tunnel on the background, this wall here, but I went back to my display, took some measurements, and I realized it's gonna be way too deep. My display is about 24 inches deep and 10 feet wide. So my rule is that I can't really go more than 24 inches deep. I think all my statues are like way under 24 inches deep, but this one, if I have the wall on the back, is going to be right at 24 or maybe a little bit more. So I decided to put the wall on the side, and I think it may end up looking better. We'll see. The nice thing about this display, I can actually turn the lizard. So if I turn this way, the wall will be on the back. So if I ever change my mind, I guess I could make the wall on the back if I wanted to, or just, turn the lizard a little bit. I had to work on that side. But again, this is just the first step, getting the angles and the pieces and see how it fit together. And then I'll start carving the stones and cutting the stone blocks one by one like I did with the flat pieces. So it's coming along okay. We'll see. Okay, ready for the next step. I'll cut a few more pieces and it should be good. All right, well, I'm starting to see it a little bit better now. I cut a few more of the angle pieces so you can kind of see how it kind of could look like. Yeah, I think this way may look better. Seem like coming out of the tunnel. And the wall being, instead of a back wall, being a side wall. I still have to cut the pieces, but I'm gonna cut the blocks. And the good thing about making blocks is that I don't have to do the wall all at once. I can just build it up and change it accordingly. If I wanted to offset a little bit, I can. I'll make it a little bit higher. I can, or a little bit shorter. So gives you a little bit more flexibility. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a 8-inch video stone block and move on to the next step. All right, so I finished texturing all the stone blocks. I had to mark them with like 2 lines, 3 lines, so I can differentiate which one is which, because they're different angles in different sizes. So it makes it easy for me to keep track of them. So finished texturing all of them. They're still loose, so I was just dry feeding them. And let me take this out. So I finished this part too, the base. It's gonna slide in there. And that's gonna be the base for the wall. So you have to put texture here just because of the angle. I'm not gonna be able to do it later. So yeah, it's starting to look like a base now. All right, so it's going to take more shape for the tunnel. I sculpted the back and the sides just in case I don't want to look from the side. It's looking good so far. So I dry feed it first. I looked at it, make sure it's all good. And then, very dusty. Put it here. Check again. Make sure it lines up properly. This side, the other side, the back, and this side here, because just in case you want to look from this side. So I've been just using hot glue, and I do one piece at a time. You actually don't need much. I'll do this roll so you can see what I've been doing. One block at a time. And then next one. There's gonna be like little gaps, but that's what it's supposed to be. So it looks like, you know, real stone blocks. Okay. Next one. And it goes really quick. Last piece. Piece of level. And yeah. Okay, there's a couple more to go, so take a break. Okay, yeah, I decided to put one more row there of blocks on top. This one here, because I wanted the wall to be a little bit higher than him. You want to put the portrait, like before it was like too level with it, so I wanted to kind of be a little bit triangle. Yeah, so oh well, this video is getting a little bit long, so I'll make this part one, and I'll continue on part two. That way it doesn't get too long and gives me time to shoot the second video. I can only do this on the weekend, so I'll continue next Saturday. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions or comments, just write below and I'll get to it. And I should be able to post the other video a week later. Okay, thanks.